Welcome. In front of me is a Google Pixel 7a, and today I'll show you a bunch of tweaks and tricks you can do on this device. So let's just get straight into it by opening up Settings, and we're going to begin by navigating into the lock screen, which was somewhere under the display. So we can go in here and we should have our lock screen. Now here we have a couple different things that might be very useful. So we have the privacy, show all notifications. This is just a typical. You usually have options for this when you have a screen lock set, but this one allows you to choose even without one. Now below that we'll have a double tap to wake. So tap to check phone, as it's called. If you don't like this, you can turn it off, though this one is pretty okay. I would probably be turning off lift to check phone, because that tend to turn on the screen whenever you're just holding the device and just kind of like doing any kind of gesturing when you're talking to someone, which personally I find it a little bit annoying. I like to turn that off. Now moving down, or up, actually, we have the now playing, which is another great feature. Though to turn that on, I would need to have internet connection, because initially it will need to download a library of just tracks, or just a library of information. Not exactly sure which one it is, but yeah, if I try to enable it, as you can see, no internet connection. So at the moment I won't be able to really utilize it. Once you are connected to network, it will just begin downloading info, and from there, whenever any kind of song is playing, it will automatically give you the track name. Now this will be shown on the lock screen somewhere around here at the bottom, and it's a basically alternative to things like Shazam. This will work all the time, so any track that is basically being picked up by the device will be automatically identified, and you can find info about it in here. As you can see, we have the now playing history. So later on, if you heard some song maybe in like some store that you liked, you can go back later on to this one, check it in here, and yeah, pretty nice option, and I really like this one. Now moving on further, we have also the always on display, always show time and info. I don't know why they call it this way, but it's basically the always on display. Now it will increase battery usage, but if you want to see your time and info all the time without needing to tap on the display or do anything of that, the option is here. I know that some people are interested in this option. I personally prefer to have a little bit more battery life, so I like that off. Now moving on to the next option, it's just the dark mode. It's right over here. You can turn it on or off depending on what you like. You can also tap on the text itself, and this will give you more options like schedule mode. So this will allow you to select it so it turns on and off dark mode, either from sunset to sunrise or on a custom timer of your choice. Now moving further down, we have colors. There we go, colors. Now this is the default setting by having it adaptive, but you can change it to natural. Now this is completely up to preference, and the change is really minimal, at least for this image. Let's see how it differs here. So adaptive is a little bit more saturated. So yeah, we have a couple different examples. You can see a little bit of a weird shift right here, though it's really hard to pinpoint what is actually changing on the image. Just you can see, I guess the hue is a little bit more vibrant, but yeah, not much of a difference. But in certain images like this one, I feel like the natural actually looks better to me, and I tend to generally prefer the less saturated images myself anyway. Now moving down, still in the display section, we have the smooth display, which for some odd reason is turned off by default. Now this allows you to run the display at 90 Hz, giving you the better smoothness when you're scrolling up and down, and making it feel just much nicer when doing anything on the device. So I recommend turning that on. Now there is a little bit of a downside. It will consume more battery life, but I feel like the trade-off for having this smoothness to your display is a significantly better upgrade over the just a little bit more battery life. So yeah, anyway, at the end of the day, this is preferential, so if you don't really feel much of a difference and you just prefer the battery life, that's fine too. Now moving on, we're gonna go into the wallpaper and style, and here we have a couple of things. We have the option to also turn on dark theme for some reason. Now we have the icons, so you can theme the icons. Note though this is in beta, and this basically changes the icons to fit the wallpaper in some way. So you can kind of see the example right here. Then we also have the upgrade on your home screen. Now I will change it to 5x5 just because it actually leads to another option, which by default we only had 4 apps visible right here. When you change it to 5, it gives you this option right here. Don't know what it actually is called, but what this is, it basically shows you the last used application, and this will basically be changing. Now we can remove apps to increase this. As you can see, it just creates like a circular field where you see other app icons, and if I just open up some kind of other app, it should change, as you can see. So it continuously shifts. Now Photos is the last one, and YouTube became this one. This is the new one. And if I open up settings, they should become, there we go, first, and then we have second YouTube now. So it gives you couple applications. You can remove all the apps from your status bar or taskbar, I guess, and have 5 different ones that shows up right here that will cycle through, in this case, 5 most recently used applications. And obviously if you don't use more than 5 apps, this will give you kind of like a cycle of all your apps that you tend to use. So there we go. And yeah, that would finish up the tweaks and tricks I want to show you. So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.